writing was something that I never even ever imagined that I'd do, and I had a friend who worked in the book business actually who said to me, you know what you should do? You should write a children's book about your own childhood, something that happened to you. Your kids would love that. And at the time, he didn't have children, and I laughed at him. And I said, children don't care about anything that happened to you. You know, they care about what's happening with them. And so I kind of dismissed the idea. But my son was 7 at the time. He's now 13, and that's sort of the moment when children first start noticing what their physicality and that they're different from people around them. And he was very worried about his teeth. His teeth were coming in, and he thought they were too big for his face. And he didn't like his haircut, and he didn't like his school picture. And it broke my heart. You know, I just couldn't believe it, because he was the most beautiful boy. But then I remembered when I was 7, the same age, that was really when I first noticed my freckles and started hating them. Before, they just didn't matter to me. And there were kids in the neighborhood who called me Freckle-Faced Strawberry, because that was the name of a powdered drink mix like Kool-Aid. So there was like Rootin' Tootin' Raspberry and Blueberry Blast and Freckle-Faced Strawberry. So I sort of started with that idea. Just about not liking something about yourself. And I think that in a lot of children's literature, especially the classics, there's something that a child doesn't like, but then they grow up and they're transformed and they're beautiful and they no longer resemble the lump that they were. But of course, that's not how it goes in real life. Really what happens is that, you know, you have these freckles and stuff, and you grow up and you still have the freckles and you still don't like them, but it doesn't matter so much. So I wanted to write a story about how the things that loom large in childhood are less important when you grow up. There were a lot of places that I lived where there were no redheads and there were no freckled people, and people were like, what are you and why do you look that way? And it wasn't really until I spent time in areas where there are lots of Scottish and Irish people and was able to see, like, oh, there are lots of people who look like me. But it was a very, all the kids would be tan and they all had dark hair or blonde hair. And so to see, to look like I did was to look, super different in certain areas of the country.